Thick bitch ass nigga. All you YB fans, you bitch ass nigga better block me today, nigga. This little bitch ass nigga on this whole payment, doing all type of whole shit, nigga. G Money been said he was a hoe, nigga. Finna get on that Fredo shit, nigga. Stamp you niggas. Nah, for real.
NBA YoungBoy just sent shockwaves through the rap world, and this time it's personal. Leaked backstage footage has fans losing their minds because it shows YB and his crew straight up checking a Dallas rapper named Montana 700 in the most humiliating way imaginable. What went down behind those curtains was wild, chaotic, and a long time coming, because this wasn't some random fight. This was payback. See, this all traces back to an old video Montana posted back in 2021, when he wasn't even known outside his block. In that clip, he mocked YoungBoy for wearing makeup in his Black Ball music video, calling him zesty, and clowning his whole image just to grab some clout. Back then, Montana thought he could run his mouth with no consequences. He figured, I'm small time, YB will never even notice. But what he didn't know was that the internet never forgets, and neither does YoungBoy. That 2021 moment became the seed of a feud that would one day explode. Montana 700, with his few thousand followers, saw an opportunity to go viral off another man's name. He jumped on live and laughed about YoungBoy painting his nails, saying anyone who still supported him ain't real no more. He wasn't just talking trash. He was questioning YB's manhood, his street status, his entire legacy. The way he said it made it clear. He wasn't cracking jokes. He wanted attention, and he got it. But not the kind he expected. Now let's get this straight. When YB dropped Black Ball, he was in one of the darkest moments of his life. Legal pressure, industry hate, blackball rumors, all that energy was already on him. The man was experimenting, trying to show a new side, maybe even reflect his pain through art. But Montana didn't care. He saw a headline moment and went for it. He wanted to build his name by dragging someone who already had millions of fans, millions of dollars, and way too much on his plate to care. But YB? He don't forget disrespect no matter how long it's been. For a while, Montana's little diss disappeared into the internet void. No one cared. Not until 2024 rolled around. Suddenly, his name started bubbling up in the Dallas rap scene. He was getting minor buzz, a couple shows, a few blog mentions, and with that came people digging up old dirt. And when that old video resurfaced, it spread like wildfire. Fans began tagging YB, hip-hop blogs reposted it, and even random pages started saying, "Yo, does YB know this clown talked crazy about him back in the day?" The streets caught wind, and Montana's old words started haunting him for real. What Montana didn't realize was that 2025 NBA YoungBoy isn't the same as 2021 NBA YoungBoy. This version of YB is sharper, colder, and more powerful than ever. He's got his freedom, his fame, his control back. He's not the one fighting the industry anymore. He is the industry. So when he saw that old clip again, it wasn't just some internet throwback. It was a reminder of who disrespected him when the world was against him. And that hits different when you're on top again. The setup for what came next could have been written in a movie script. September 2nd, 2025, a night meant for celebration. NBA YoungBoy had a massive Dallas show lined up, packed out, lights blinding, crowd screaming. And guess who was backstage? Montana 700. Not because he was invited, but because his homie, Huncho Amir, had been booked to open for YB. Montana figured he'd tag along, maybe network, maybe even get a photo or some quick exposure. Big mistake! Sources say Montana was trying to act calm, blending into the background, not wanting to draw attention. But word travels fast backstage, and one of YB's people recognized him instantly. Within minutes, that info reached YB himself. Witnesses claim YoungBoy looked dead at his team and said, "Ain't that the dude who was talking about me back in the day?" That was it, the calm before the storm. What followed was instant chaos. YB's crew, the same ones who've been with him since the trenches, closed in. Montana tried to talk, maybe explain, maybe apologize. But at that point, it didn't matter. That old clip had already written his fate. Reports say YoungBoy didn't even raise his voice. He just gave a nod. Next thing you know, Montana got smacked so hard it echoed through the hallway. Phones came out, people screaming, security scrambling. It was messy, embarrassing, and caught on multiple angles. The kind of footage you can't come back from. Word spread faster than wildfire. Within hours, blogs were posting, "Backstage fight at YB's show," fans speculating, others laughing, saying Montana got exactly what he deserved. This wasn't just a random altercation. It was a full-circle moment of accountability in hip-hop. You can't disrespect legends and expect time to erase your words. And to make it worse, that viral slap cost Montana more than pride. He lost show bookings, collabs, and street respect overnight. No one wants to back a rapper who got publicly checked by the biggest name in Louisiana. The internet turned him into a meme. Clips of him getting pressed looping endlessly with captions like, "When clout chasing goes wrong." Now, the streets are divided. Some say YB was justified for standing on principle. Others say he should have let the past go. But one thing's certain. Dissing YoungBoy isn't a game, and this situation just proved it loud and clear. What started as a harmless joke turned into a career-ending moment that will follow Montana 700 forever. Because when you disrespect YB, time doesn't heal. It just loads the receipt. Amir was finally getting his big break, performing with YoungBoy himself. It was the kind of opportunity that could change a rapper's whole trajectory overnight. But little did anyone know, that same night would flip into a full-blown nightmare because of who Amir decided to bring along. His boy, Montana 700, the same guy who once tried to clown NBA YoungBoy on the internet. The same guy who was about to walk straight into a setup he didn't even see coming. When they pulled up to the venue, Montana was feeling good. Maybe too good. He was backstage at a major show, surrounded by stars, lights, energy, and industry faces. Cameras flashing, people dapping up, everyone showing love to Amir for landing a slot alongside one of the biggest names in rap. It felt like a dream, but that dream was seconds away from flipping into a nightmare. Because YoungBoy had already seen that resurfaced 2021 video. Somebody from his camp had shown it to him, or maybe he'd come across it himself while scrolling. Either way, the moment Montana 700 stepped backstage, YB knew exactly who he was, and the disrespect that had his name attached to it. That walk into the green room was a walk into the lion's den. Montana didn't realize it yet, but the internet had done what it always does, connected old drama to the present. The second YB locked eyes on him, everything changed. Witnesses say the energy dropped instantly. 1 minute, laughter and music, the next, pure silence as YB stood up. The air got heavy. You could feel it in the room. Montana was about to pay for what he said years ago. According to multiple people who were backstage, YoungBoy approached Montana directly. No security, no middlemen, no hype, just raw tension. He didn't yell, didn't posture. He simply said something along the lines of, "You remember what you said about me?" It was cold, calculated, and straight to the point. Montana tried to play it off, probably saying it was just jokes, trying to apologize or talk his way out of it. But explanations don't fix disrespect, especially not when you put it out on the internet for millions to see. In that moment, it was already too late. YB's mind was made up. This wasn't about a conversation anymore. It was about respect, image, and payback. Within seconds, YB's crew moved in. Reports say it started with one slap, but it didn't end there. Montana got handled, fast, rough, and public. Backstage turned into a battlefield. People screaming, security moving in too slow, and cameras catching everything. The smacks weren't just physical, they were symbolic. In hip-hop culture, a slap is pure humiliation. It's not about pain, it's about dominance. It's saying, "You're not even worth fighting." For Montana 700, that moment shattered everything he'd been working for. 1 minute, he was chasing the spotlight. The next, the spotlight was exposing him, getting violated by one of the most feared rappers in the game, right at his own show, in front of artists, managers, promoters. That's not just a loss. That's career suicide. People backstage said Montana looked stunned, like he couldn't even process what was happening. Years of hustle undone in seconds, all because he couldn't keep his mouth shut back in 2021. But here's where things get even crazier. The whole thing was caught on camera. Every single second of that altercation was reportedly filmed. And somehow, that footage ended up in the hands of Say Cheese TV's owner. Now, for those who don't know, Say Cheese isn't just any media page. It's one of the biggest platforms in hip-hop news, built on exclusives, viral content, and major street stories. If they drop a clip, it spreads instantly. But this time, they didn't post it. Yeah, you heard that right. The owner of Say Cheese actually refused to post the footage. He reportedly said he didn't want to ignite another street war or fuel an already dangerous situation. Think about how serious that is. A platform built on exposure and controversy turned down millions of potential views because the clip was that explosive. That means whatever was on that video wasn't just a little scuffle. It was brutal. It was humiliating. It was the kind of footage that could have ended careers or started real street beef. And honestly, that decision might have saved lives. Because once something like that hits the internet, it spreads like wildfire. People pick sides, threats start flying, and before you know it, what started as a slap turns into retaliation. The Say Cheese owner knew this, and by choosing peace over clout, he showed rare restraint in an industry that feeds on drama. Still, the fact that the video exists, that's its own form of torture for Montana. He knows the footage is out there. He knows one leak, one upload could destroy whatever little reputation he's got left. Every day that footage stays unreleased is mercy. but it's also a ticking time bomb. Even though the footage never went public, word of the altercation spread like wildfire through blogs and social media. Hip-hop pages started posting vague headlines. Dallas rapper checked backstage by YB's crew. Old disrespect comes back to haunt rising artist. The internet connected the dots fast. But what confirmed everything wasn't a post or a statement. It was a single move from YoungBoy himself. When one of those blogs posted about Montana getting pressed, YB hit like. Just one little heart emoji from the man himself. But in hip-hop politics, that's louder than a full press conference. That one gesture was a statement. Yeah, I saw it. I handled it. And it's done. No need to drop footage. No need for threats. Just a calm confirmation that business had been handled. That like sent a chill through the industry. Every rapper, every blogger, every critic who's ever talked slick about YoungBoy suddenly went quiet. Because that's the thing about YB. He doesn't bark. He bites. And when he moves, it's silent but permanent. The message was clear as day. If you disrespect him even once, time won't erase it. He'll see you when he sees you, and you'll feel it. Montana 700's career didn't just take a hit. It imploded. The respect, the credibility, the upcoming shows, all gone. Word travels fast in this industry, and now everyone knows YB isn't the one to play with. One old video destroyed everything he was trying to build, and all because he thought going viral for a few laughs was worth more than showing respect to a man who built his name from the dirt. That's how one night, one confrontation turned a clout chaser's dream into a cautionary tale. Because in YB's world, disrespect don't expire. It just waits for the perfect moment to strike. Getting checked by NBA YoungBoy isn't something that stays quiet for long. In the hip-hop community, stories like that travel faster than wildfire. And even without the video being released, everybody knows what went down. Word spread through group chats, industry circles, and fan pages within hours. The damage was done before Montana 700 even had a chance to respond. Respect is the currency of the rap game, and once that's gone, you're broke, no matter how much money you got in your pockets. Montana's whole image was built on toughness, on being street certified, but one slap from YoungBoy turned all that into dust. The perception changed instantly. He wasn't seen as bold anymore. He was seen as the guy who got pressed and couldn't defend himself. That kind of stain don't wash off easy. Now think about how this affects everything else. Shows, collabs, label meetings, brand deals. Nobody wants to associate with an artist who got publicly humiliated by one of the most feared names in the game. If you're blacklisted by YB's circle, that's like being ghosted by the whole industry. Any upcoming collabs that might have been on the table? Gone. Promoters don't want the smoke, producers don't want the attention, and other rappers are keeping their distance just to stay safe. Behind closed doors, Montana's team probably panicked. How do you rebuild an artist who got checked by YoungBoy in front of witnesses? How do you spin that? You can't! Every time his name comes up now, it's tied to that backstage moment. Every room he walks into, people whisper about Dallas. He can drop 10 songs, a whole album. But the first comment will always be, "Ain't that the dude YB slapped?" That's a level of humiliation that changes how you move forever. But beyond the career fallout, the psychological toll hits different. Imagine being publicly violated by someone at the top of the food chain. That'll mess with your confidence, your mindset, your pride. From now on, every studio session, every event, every handshake, it's gonna feel like he's being watched, judged, pitied. For a rapper trying to project strength, that kind of mental weight is crushing. Now here's where we zoom out. Because this story ain't just about one rapper getting humbled. It's about the bigger picture. This whole situation between NBA YoungBoy and Montana 700 shows how hip-hop still runs on respect, accountability, and memory. It's proof that the internet might forget trends, but real ones never forget disrespect. Montana made one critical mistake, thinking time could erase what he said. He probably assumed, it's been years, YB's busy, no one cares anymore. Wrong. In this game, disrespect has no expiration date. YoungBoy just proved that with one brutal lesson. If you cross the wrong person, it might take years, but the receipt will come due. This situation also shines a light on how social media has completely changed the rules. Back in the day, if you said something reckless in a small circle, it stayed there. But now, everything's permanent. Every tweet, every video, every live stream. It all gets saved, reposted, and weaponized the moment you blow up. Montana learned that the hard way. What he thought was just a harmless joke in 2021 became the nail in his career's coffin in 2025. And let's not overlook the power dynamics in play. When you're YoungBoy, rich, connected, respected, and feared, you get to decide when and how to handle business. You don't chase drama, you finish it on your terms. Montana didn't have that luxury. He was powerless in the situation, forced to take whatever came his way. That's the brutal truth of the industry. When you don't have status, your mouth can write checks your life can't cash. What happened to Montana 700 is a textbook example of what happens when clout chasing goes too far. He tried to build his name off tearing down someone who already had his place solidified. But all he really did was put a target on his own back. YoungBoy waited, watched, and when the moment was right, he handled it. And the fact that Say Cheese, one of the boldest hip-hop platforms out there, refused to post the video, that says everything! When even media giants are scared to share footage, that means the violation wasn't minor. It was career-ending. Say Cheese choosing to hold that tape showed they understood the danger of letting that footage hit the net. The streets don't need more chaos, and YB had already made his point loud and clear. Montana didn't just get checked, he got made an example of. For YoungBoy, it's another reminder of his dominance. He doesn't forget, he doesn't forgive, and he doesn't have to say a word. Just one like on a post told the entire industry that business had been handled. That's silent power. No interviews, no drama. Just confirmation that disrespect never goes unpaid. And the lesson? It's simple but deadly serious. Respect is earned, but disrespect is permanent. Montana 700 learned that the hard way. His name is now forever attached to one of the most humiliating moments in recent rap history. In a culture where your reputation is your career, one bad decision, one reckless comment, can erase years of grind. This story will follow him wherever he goes. A permanent reminder that in this game, the internet never forgets, and neither does YB. Whether Montana can ever bounce back remains to be seen, but one thing's certain, he won't ever try to clown NBA YoungBoy again. Because in hip-hop, disrespect might get you attention, but it'll also get you checked.